This is the TAF Hub, a show brought to you by TAF Africa Global to educate you on real estate matters, to mentor you and inspire you.
After 48 years of working and also traveling all over the world, I am ready to share my experience with you, especially those young ones who follow me for inspiration.
Is pleased to present this award to Mr. Mustapha Njie YouTube, CEO of TAF Africa Global, for your support in facilitating the people of Ghana and in our own tradition, as elders, Ousman Rakala. Ousman Rakala. Ken ngir man gi dafa des. Dafa def lu fi ken deful. Bo dañ ko wax lu fi ken wax. I just want to take you back to how Ousman came to be an MP. In 2017, there were illustrious sons of Banjul who got up and had an organization, an advocacy group called Tahawal Banjul, which was non-partisan. And we identified, people that we had hopes in, people who will leave a legacy to what Ousman has done today, people who's demonstrated leadership. I have heard you say that you've urged the young ones to now going into politics to work deaf. So therefore, I don't think it is proper that we do the ceremony without mentioning these guys. Because they were bold in 2017 to finance, campaign, and elected, I think, the best that we have ever had for Banjul. And Ousman Sillah was one of them. So I just want to take tribute to Dr. Aliou Gueye, who chaired this group. Remy Joyna. Kaba Sise is there. We spent nights and days campaigning for the people, and we won all the 3 seats in Banjul. Salih Tal, Late Sheikh Tidiane Gueye, Janet Salah Njie, Peter Gomez, Mustapha Alex Dacosta, Aji Louis Job, myself, my humble self, and Yasin Diouf. I can go back as far as his dad, Pamadi Sillah, Sarpanchela won. Aji Sohna Gueye, Dijay Akara. So therefore, Ousman dafa juru fekka ñi di ñaxa di def lu melni. Ousman, you have demonstrated leadership, you have demonstrated innovation, you have demonstrated commitment, and you are an emulation to our young politician. Well done, Gacha Galam. Now let's continue from where we left. But what I want to ask is about vision, because in leadership, vision is key. And you demonstrated vision, you demonstrated resilience, you demonstrated commitment, which I am very impressed about. So let's talk about your vision and the strategy of Crabbe Island Center for the next, let's say, 5 and 10 years. And what plans do you have in place to achieve your objectives?
Thank you very much, Taf. Well, and thank you for acknowledging what we are doing. And I'm doing it also with a team. I have a board of trustees who are equally committed to the cause. They share the same vision with me. And that was why I was able to identify them, and they're from different walks of life, including those in industry. And yes, we are doing it. We have also a director who's also very proactive on the ground. And there's a team, it's a teamwork. And what motivated us to be, or me, to be doing this is, like I said, is the desire to serve.
But your vision, what do you think the next 5-10 years?
Next 5 years, in terms of vision, is that we want Crab Island to develop into a full-fledged training institution that is a center of excellence. That is also going to serve as a hub to be trying to address the challenges in terms of the skills gap, building capacity of young people, building capacity of technicians, even elderly people who want to pursue courses. Like, for instance, when you were there, you saw the members of the security forces who are family persons. They are learning skills, and the motivation is that, and the objective is for them, after realizing that there is life after service, because most of them, when they retire, they become, they go back to security, and then when they can, be supported to develop skills, they can even end their contracts and then serve in other capacities.
Yes.
To contribute to the economy and contribute to, increasing the income, their income to support their families. So we want it to be a center of excellence that will be offering skills to all those who need to acquire skills in order to build this country, to support entities like TAF that would require skills persons, because I can remember the course that we offer there is 9 months, but 6 months is at the center there, 3 months is industrial attachment. When I approached TAF for industrial attachment, you offered us the positions that the ongoing TAF works at Gunjur. But when I intimated this to the trainees, they were not keen. So that's also a challenge. So they feel it's far away, and I told them that, well, the package is that you can be going there, you will not be commuting, but every weekend, by Friday, you can go back to your homes on Sunday evening. We can even arrange, I even told them, I've been out consulting you, that we can even arrange with TAF that you will be coming on Monday mornings and leaving Friday afternoons. So at least they said, well, we'll counsel, we'll give it a thought. But nobody came back. So I said, well,
we'll talk about that another day. Let's try and focus on your plan. Do you have any strategic plan?
Well, the plan is that, yes, we recently we are depending on subvention from the government to support the staff, the administrative staff, because that is a headache. If that they are sustained, that's fine. They support. There's a subvention, just like they do with some of these schools, the subvented schools like Muslim High School, Muslim Senior Secondary, Gambia Senior Secondary, Senior Secondary. So Crab Island is now, part of that.
Great.
But that is for the support, the administrative staff. We have a teaching staff. Of course, there is also a teaching staff that is supported by the subvention. But there's a teaching staff that is on contract basis. And these are dependent on projects that are coming to roll out the programs. So we tell that this is part of it. So what we feel that it cannot continue. We need sustainability. So what we want to do in terms of plans for sustainability is we want to introduce production units. Like, for instance, Crab Island. We have tailoring, like what amazes you. So what stops Crab Island from opening a tailoring workshop there? You have so many schools in Banjul. We can enter into negotiation with the schools so that it can be a win-win. The Crab Island students will be producing uniforms. There are offices there, there are outfits, security outfits here who would require uniforms. Tell them, support the young people of Gambia, support the young people of Banjul, support Crab Island by contracting us, giving us contracts to make uniforms for you. So this is possible.
Production center.
Production centers. We want to do it with all the course areas that we offer there, because all of them can be linked to that. Even construction, we want to start bricklaying, making blocks, because at the present I think there's only one person doing it in Banjul, so it's not competitive. If Crab Island enters into it, we can make it competitive.
Great.
And then offering quality, blocks.
Well, that's great. But let me just tell you there, and I have personally experienced production in a training center. You know, the Lamin St. Peter's. St. Peter's, the name was Miserio Technical Center. It was a technical center, TVET center at the time. And I worked there as a junior instructor in 1976. I was employed as a junior instructor. But because I was so young, I was at the age of 19, I used to work together with those who are in the production center. So after their training, they are put into a production center, and we were focusing more on carpentry. I was a junior instructor in carpentry. So the school had the machines, and they had the setup. It was being run by the Catholic. And we had contracts from the Ministry of Education to make school furniture. So just rolling out short very quickly, that's what we did. So monies were coming in from the Ministry of Education, and then the students, after their training, they will do it. So my entrepreneurial life really started there. Because I saw an opportunity. I was being paid a salary from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock, teaching woodwork. But then I would stay with the students who were at the production center between 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, making furniture with my own hands to earn extra money. So just to support the fact that, yes, if you have a TVET center, it's always good to have a production center.
Exactly.
So, for example, but they need to be well trained, they need to be disciplined.
Certainly.
I mean, things like, for example, flush doors. If you had the machines at the Crab Island TVET Center, the machines and also quality control, we can subcontract it to make all the doors for us.
That's good.
But the thing is that quality. You pay and you should get back value for money. So I'm happy that you have a strategic plan for this period. But how does, let me just go to the next question, how does Crab Island Center support the empowerment of women? That's very important. Women and the young people in the community through its TVET program.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. You see, young people, young women, there is this interest, this inclination to some of the skills areas, that is hairdressing and tailoring. Because there, with the hairdressing class, we initially had one male, but he opted out. Barely before we start, he opted out.
Yeah.
So, but with tailoring, we have one, and he was there up to graduation. So, but what we are doing is we are encouraging young people to also venture into other areas. And fortunately for us, all the course areas that we offered, there are women. Not more than 2, more than 3. I think 3 is the minimum, and then 4, some up to 5. So, but for hairdressing is 100% women. Tailoring 24 are women, 1 was a male.
Yeah.
So we are doing, that's what we are doing. We are encouraging them to also venture into other skills areas. But these are traditional areas that we always offer them. If they want tailoring, they can come. We offer them. We want hairdressing, but we are encouraging them to also venture into other areas. So we are supporting.
That's great.
And also this time around, we also want to encourage persons with physical challenges, disability.
Yes.
We have about 3 applications, and we are encouraging them. There is one who is assisting us. We're telling him to go and then get us more trainees who are physically challenged. But there are skill areas that they can definitely perform very well.
Yeah, but that's great. So you're empowering women and also the young.
Persons with disability.
The youth. Now, I'm surprised. You said in tailoring there was only one male, but he left.
No, it's hairdressing.
Oh, hairdressing.
Only one male, but he left.
Well, he left. But probably what he saw it as
well, I just don't know. I did ask the instructor, the trainer, what is, well, he cannot even also explain to me. He said,
but how about in tailoring? I mean, what's the divide there between male and female in tailoring?
Well, only one male.
Only one male?
After 25, class of 25.
25. But
yes.
Actually, I want to use the opportunity again.
Yes.
That to encourage the young male folk to have no inferiority complex in doing tailoring. There are successful people, even close to us here. If you go to Senegal, for example, all of these haftan that we wear, nowadays you see us what we wear, our 2 pieces, you know, and they are costing a lot of money. In Nigeria, for example, I mean, if you know what I wear most of the time, it's done in Nigeria because they do it professionally. Like, for example, this shirt I'm wearing, with all this look, everything you see here, it's done in Nigeria. And then also the outfit, what they call the agbada, it's the grambuba, and also the etibo, which is like the 2-piece. Now, internationally, even presidents, they wear it. And it's costing a lot of money. At times, it's more expensive than Western clothing. So I want to encourage them on this. I know a petroleum engineer who was working for Total, who left, and his passion is tailoring, and he's now doing tailoring. If you go on Instagram, you will find some people, for example, I know this guy, he's called Africana Culture. He was a lawyer by training. He dropped it and he's running his own brand. And he's expanding now. He has an outfit in Nigeria, has an outfit in Senegal, and also in Cote d'Ivoire. Actually, if you notice, Yusundur wears some three-piece now. It's done by this guy. And it's costing over $1,000 for those outfits. So please, young people, if your passion is in tailoring, design, and so on, don't have any complex. There's no distinction between male and female on the trade that you do. On the other side, in TAF City today, if you go, we have a lot of painters who are female. We have plumbers who are female. We have electricians who are female. And they work so hard, obviously, to put bread on the table. Certainly. So please, if you're a young lady or a young guy, if you have a passion in anything in TVET, you should head out to Crab Island and don't have any complex in it. But let's now move on to technology, because today in this world, technology is embraced in everything that we do. So what is the role of technology and innovation in the center's training program? And how do you keep up with the latest technology trends and skills?
Well, thank you very much. Technology is an area that Crab Island wants to focus on. We want to introduce courses in terms of like auto mechanics. We want to introduce that. And that recycling technology. These are all in the offing. We're just looking for partners to provide us with the requisite things that are needed, that are required to start off rolling out such programs. So technology definitely is key. Technology is the wall. Technology is the engine of economic growth. And what we are doing, we also want to promote cottage industry by this recycling technology is going to help develop that area. Eventually, we started with at a low level because the courses that we are on offer are level 1. We want to upgrade it to go up to higher the ladder. We want to offer level 2, level 3 diploma. Crab Island wants to reach that stage, and that of course the space is a challenge, but we can always build up. There is a partner, or there are partners that we are inviting to come and help us put the infrastructure so that we'll be accommodating more programs. Our challenge now is infrastructure. To accommodate programs, but we are ready for programs. Like, for instance, the auto mechanics. We have all the tools that are needed to train, to roll out auto mechanics. Carpentry, we have all the tools to roll out. With carpentry, we're going to start with this the second cohort. We're going to start that. And so this is where we are. We want it to be a hub that is offering all sorts of skills areas. But of course, quality, we're going to be very mindful with quality, that we're going to be upholding the standards in terms of the products so that they can compete. They'll be very competitive in terms of price, in terms of quality.
Excellent.
So you're definitely mindful of that as well, yes.
But having that in mind, then, I mean, what advice do you have for young people who are considering a career in technical and vocational education and training in the Gambia?
Well, it is not a wrong choice if they opt for technical education, TVET education, TVET as a career, because examples abound. You are one of them. So they don't need to look afar. They can see it in you and the others who are, technicians and are now, household names. They are landmarks in terms of the physical feature of Gambia. You've seen what they have done in terms of the skills that they have, the tough cities, your structures, the edifices that you built, and your colleagues in the industry and other areas. So with skills, you cannot go poor. You cannot go without income. If you are serious, if you are committed, having skills is key to survival. Is key to survival, is key to success. So that's the advice. Of course, academics is also good because we need people to be thinking, to be providing theory. That's also good in its own right. But skills also is an area that I would encourage more young people to pursue, because we want to develop this country. There's nothing that you need in life where you don't find skills. The comfort that we need in life, there's nothing that we need in life without skills in it. The structure, the building that we are in, the chair we are sitting on, the chairs we are sitting on, this camera that are before us, these are all skills. So life is meaningless. Life is without taste if it does not have skills. So skills is the way to go. I'm encouraging, and that's the reason what motivates us to do something like Crab Island and believe that Crab Island has a future because skills is the future of this world. It's the future for Gambia.
Excellent. Now, we cannot say all this without going back into history, because some of us who you guys see us as your elder brothers, you know, we have witnessed the birth of TVET, you know, when we were very young. So I want to call out 3 names here, and those who were around or remembers them will agree with me that the forefathers of TVET, and they came from Crab Island, are 3 in number. Those who stood out, and later, you know, came to, you know, at the top of formulating policies for TVET. One was Ibrahima Donde, and the second was Omar Njie. Omar Njie is Daddy Njie's father, and the third is Makaire Njie. Makaire Njie is the father of Papa Yusuf Njie. These 3, they came from Crab Island, and obviously because Crab Island was a middle school, was a secondary school. But those days in the 60s, going to the 70s, in the 60s actually, those middle schools focused on TVET. Indeed. And that was their background. And it was from there that they went to vocational training center in Halfdai. You know, and then they developed their career, they went to academics, some of them even landed themselves with doctorate degrees. I think Ibrahima Donde is still active at the policy level. You know, I think he sits at the PSC. But I think maybe on this program or others, we'll need to bring them in because they have a lot of knowledge. And later came the people like the Ash Johns, the Gaulo Nyang, who was head of Naka at one time, you know, Musa Loom and others. But these 3, you know, they are really the founders or people who stepped into TVET and developed themselves to where they are. But that's for another day. But I think it's worth mentioning to people and, you know, really give compliments to them, that we honor them, we value them for the role that they have played in TVET in this country, formulating policies and making the reality of today, like VTC developing it now to GTTI, which is now USET, the University of Science and Technology. So kudos to all these 3 people who are really the people that must be recognized in TVET in this country. Let's talk about now any exciting initiatives in projects that the center is working on or planning to launch in the near future.
Yes, but before I go into that, on these 3 personalities, in fact, what we did when I came up with the initiative, I did consult with Makaire. Yes. Donde by then he was out of the country, and Omar Njie too was out of the country. But Gaulo Nyang Gaus, I did Mr. Loom, the 2 Looms, the one who passed on and the one who's living alive, and Bitey who also passed on. So I did consult them with them.
Well done.
So they also gave me some, you know, tips as to how to go about it.
Excellent.
And Makaire was in fact one of those who were honored who were awarded with a certificate during our maiden graduation.
Excellent.
So we did recognize them. Yes, for Crab Island, we believe that it was not easy at the initial stage. Crab Island was not easy. I had to encounter challenges, but challenges that were not insurmountable. I had to overcome. Their life is full of challenges. For us, we regard things that we encounter as not problems, but challenges. Problems cannot be solved.
You turn them into opportunities.
Wow. Challenges, you turn them into opportunities. Challenges, you overcome. Challenges, you surmount. So there were challenges, but they were, you know, just storms in a teacup, so to speak. So, but with the support of my wives, the late wife, Jorba, you know, the existing wife, Sohna Sise, my sisters, brothers, and friends, colleagues, people like you, the encouragement that I get around the country made me to persevere. They give me these members of my party, Khalifa, Sidia, and the like, Sam, Antemi, Sillah. So I was able to, you know, for me, I'm determined. I'm determined. Once I believe that this is right.
Yeah. So new initiatives. What new initiatives will you?
The initiative, yeah. Well,
Do you have any new ones?
Well, the new ones, like I said, is the first is we're going to introduce new courses in Crab Island, and then by the way, I am also given another responsibility. I don't know whether you want to come to that.
I'll come there later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So the initiatives are that we want to upgrade Crab Island because we are not satisfied with the level it is. Of course, it's doing very well. We really appreciate the starts we've made. But we want to improve on the services, the programs that we are offering. We want to increase the training programs. We want to introduce auto mechanics, carpentry, welding for now. And that we want to start these production units. These are the new things. Well, like I said, one of the challenges we're facing is infrastructure. Where do you house them? So once we have that, we are going to start with the carpentry. With that, we can start. Even auto mechanics, there's space there to start auto mechanics. But with the others, we need they need to be housed, you know, and that's a current challenge. Excellent. So basically, these are the things that we have. And I also want to take it upon myself to be an ambassador of TVET in this country.
Excellent.
So I'll be going around schools, arranging these talking sessions with school administrations to encourage young people that those who want to pursue the academic route, that's fine. Yeah. It's a good way to go. But those who also want to pursue the TVET route, this fine also is a good way to go. So to encourage them, identify their passions, where their interest lies, and encourage them. And we would also convince them that TVET is also a choice that they would never regret.
Excellent. They will never. Well, we have very bright examples of it. I mean, if you want to look at those who chose TVET and where they are today with due humility and modesty, I mean, I am an ambassador and I am an example of somebody who chose TVET at a very early age in life. Somebody at that time who graduated from high school, but opted for TVET, and I will leave you to judge whether it was a good decision to take or not. But Honorable, let me now just give you, so that you can convey a message, you know, to the general public, stakeholders, and about the importance and benefits of technical and vocational education and training. But from there also, I know that you have some new responsibilities, which is beyond the shores of the Gambia. So give us those details.
You started with what? The first one?
Well, the importance, which you have mentioned earlier. Okay, so if you want, you can focus on your role now. Well, what this has now landed you? What you have, where you are now, and what you are about to do at the continental platform.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, as you know, life sometimes, you know, you encounter things that you never dreamt of, but they are all challenges. For us, whatever that comes our way, we regard it as a challenge and a duty. Once we regard it as a duty, it compels you to give your best. And that is what is happening. I was opportune to be included in a delegation from the Gambia by the Honorable Minister, current Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Honorable Professor Per Gomez, to be part of a Gambian delegation to a World Bank organized and funded regional workshop for the whole of Africa, which was held in Benin in February, Cotonou, Benin. So I went there together with the Gambian delegation, officials from the ministry. And then whilst there, during the interactions, the presentations, the interventions, and of course, I had the opportunity to share my thoughts, my insight, what I believe is the trajectory for Africa in terms of TVET, and how we can develop our continent by relying on this, and our countries, of course. And I also shared with them the Crab Island experience, how it all came about, and what we're doing. So they were quite impressed. So in one of the sessions, as part of the way forward for Africa, the participants agreed that there is need for a network to be established. We need to coordinate. That the Africans are used to having conferences, coming up with resolutions. At the end of the day, they pilot. That's what is also complained about in the Gambia. That these conferences, they would come up with very sound resolutions, but at the end of the day, they are shelved in cupboards. But they said this time around they would not want that. So the first thing to avoid and to do to address that is to set up a network that will be coordinating this, ensuring that we need policy, an African policy on TVET at the AU level, sub-regional policies on TVET, that is at the ECOWAS, SADC, EAC, that is East African, SADC is South African equivalent, ECOWAS equivalent in South Africa, EAC is the ECOWAS equivalent in East Africa. And of course, the Maghreb they have, and the French-speaking, they have one. The Arab Maghreb, that is the 4 Arab countries in the north, and of course the French countries in West Africa, they have one. So what is left is English speaking and the others, Lusophone, those that are speaking Portuguese. So, but how do we establish this? They call it Sub-Saharan Africa, African countries south of the Sahara. So they said this network need to be established. We all agreed to establish it. So they said, well, but then if we establish it, we need to get some people to pioneer it, to lead it. So the delegation from Nigeria, they identified me to be the coordinator.
Wow.
So they gave me the task to facilitate the establishment of the network first and to ensure its operation. And I'm glad to inform the Gambia that now the mandate is not only the task is not only Gambia, it goes beyond Gambia as far as TVET is concerned. So I'm giving a continental responsibility. So presently I'm the coordinator. We have established the organization called the Sub-Saharan African Skills and Apprenticeship Stakeholders Network, SASASNet. I am the coordinator. I'm also the interim secretary general. We are going to launch it in July in Nigeria. The vice president, the new vice president of Nigeria, is going to officiate the launch of this network. And they said they're going to confirm me as secretary general to be leading it. I don't know. I wish it stays in Gambia. I will see whether I can lobby that. Excellent. But some countries are offering to host the headquarters. So if it is outside of Gambia, I'll be going.
Let's hope and pray that it stays here. But on that note, Honorable, I really want to congratulate you on this. You've made us proud.
Thank you.
So through serving your people and coming up with a project as noble as the Crab Island TVET Center, now you have landed yourself in a continental position and recognition. And this might even go to a global. Indeed, so congratulations again. And thank you so much for coming on the TAF Hub. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity as well. Thank you also for supporting Crab Island. You have always been supportive to Crab Island. That was the reason why we also awarded you a certificate of appreciation for what you have been doing. You have been supporting us in a very big way. So thank you very much for supporting Crab Island.
So listeners, thank you so much. I hope you've learned quite a lot from Honorable Ousman Sillah. If it's our home way, we will call him Usujole. That's his homeboy name. But he has done very well for himself, his community, and his country. So until we come your way again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching the TAF Hub. Until we come your way on our next episode, subscribe, like, and share.